Nigeria recorded improved immunization between 2015 and 2018, and that's according to a new survey conducted by the National Bureau of Statistics and the Ministry of Health. The same survey showed an estimated 12.9 million children have stunted growth, an indication of acute malnutrition. My guest on this week's episode of the program talks about the 2018 National Health and Nutrition Survey. Hello there, welcome to Dateline Abuja. I'm Gloria Umezuki. In 2015, the federal government started the Saving 1 Million Lives program to accelerate the improvement of maternal and child health, supported by the World Bank $500 million. States are expected to access this fund to improve health in their states. But the recent national survey suggests not much has been achieved. I had a conversation with the head of the program in our interview this week. But first, what are the stories that made headlines within the week in the nation's capital?
The Nigerian police has warned politicians about their conducts as the 2019 general election campaign kicks off. Addressing a news conference in Abuja, the force public relations officer, Mr. Jimoh Moshood, warned that any politician who violates the Electoral Act and election guidelines will be arrested.
All political parties are hereby advised to abide by the Electoral Act 2010 as amended and the INEC guidelines and play the games according to the rules. They are to prevail on their flag bearers, members, supporters, political funds, not to engage in any act or conduct that can incite violence or disturbance of public peace anywhere in the country during the campaigns and beyond.
The Independent National Electoral Commission has vowed to monitor the campaigns to ensure that there is no violation of the Electoral Act. Speaking at a meeting with resident electoral commissioners, the chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, says the commission is examining additional ways of safeguarding the sanctity of the ballot against the menace of vote buying at polling units.
Campaign for the 2019 presidential election officially commenced on Sunday, 18th November 2018, as provided by the Electoral Act and in line with our timetable and schedule of activities. The Commission is committed to closely monitoring the campaigns pursuant to our statutory mandate and to ensure compliance with the extant laws and regulations.
President Muhammadu Buhari held a closed-door meeting with some state governors over the issue of the new national minimum wage. The meeting, which was held at the presidential villa, had representatives of the Nigeria Governors Forum in attendance. However, after the meeting, the governors refused to disclose the outcome of their discussions with the president. Chairman of the NGF, Governor Abdulaziz Yari of Zamfara State, and the Minister of Labour and Productivity, Dr. Chris Ngige, were at the meeting. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has unveiled his memoir, a narration of events that took place before, during and after the 2015 presidential election, which he conceded to President Muhammadu Buhari. At the launch of the book, prominent Nigerians eulogized Dr. Jonathan. Among those in attendance were former heads of states, former presidents of some African countries, state governors, leaders of political parties, members of the National Assembly, among others. The launch took place at the 61st birthday celebration of the former president.
There are certain issues in the government that were used against me during the election. The issue of Boko Haram and Chibok girls. In fact, some people even said that I brought Boko Haram to reduce the voting population of the North so that I will win elections. So I commented on the Chibok girls. Also the fuel subsidy that was really used by of course, politicians must exploit opportunities. So I don't blame them, even if maybe it's myself, probably I will do the same thing. But I needed to explain certain things why we took that decision.
The federal government is to begin the implementation of a new internal security framework using the community policing model. President Muhammadu Buhari gave the indication when he directed agencies of government to study and implement the recommendation of a report submitted to him by members of Senior Executive Course 40 of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies at the State House.
The findings, policy recommendations, and the community policy models canvassed, which are presented along with the implementation strategies, are worth studying very closely. I am using this occasion to direct relevant government agencies to carefully study the report with a view to implementing its recommendations.
President Muhammadu Buhari, Deputy Senate President Senator Ike Koremadu, and some Southeast governors held a closed-door meeting at the State House to discuss issues relating to the development of the zone. The governors present at the meeting were Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi of Enugu State, Governor Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State, Governor Okezie Ikpeazu of Abia State, and the Deputy Governor of Anambra State, Mr. Nkem Okeke.
Principally, we came to, on behalf of Southeast, to thank Mr. President for the award of the second Niger Bridge, to Julius Berger in the sum of 206 billion naira. And we understand that 7 billion is being paid as mobilization. So we came to, ask Mr. President to see if there is possibility of paying Berger 50% of the sum and secure the other 50% in bond, so that we can sleep with our two eyes closed, being assured that the job will not be abandoned. And we also said in so funding that the construction period be reduced from 42 months to 24 months.
The Nigerian Election Debates Group, NEDG, and the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria, BON, have announced the dates for the presidential and vice presidential debates. According to the chairman of BON and NEDG, Mr. John Momo, the vice presidential debate will hold on December the 14th, 2018, while the presidential debate is scheduled for January the 19th, 2019, both in Abuja. The debate would be broadcast live on all BON member radio and television stations across the country.
Our nation is strongest when our leaders are transparent, accessible, and accountable to its citizens, explaining their decisions and answering tough questions. That standard of openness must start long before Election Day. It is for this reason that the Nigerian Election Debate Group and the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria are organizing a vice presidential debate on December the 14th, 2018, and the presidential election debate on January the 19th, 2019. The debates would hold at the Transcorp Hilton Hotel, Abuja, and will be broadcast live on all BON member stations across the country. The debates would also be streamed live on all mobile and social media platforms such as YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to give it a global coverage.
The Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria has left the monetary policy rate unchanged at 14%. The CBN Governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, was speaking at the end of the two-day meeting of the committee.
The MPC voted 1 to retain MPR at 14%, 2 retain the asymmetric corridor at plus 200 and minus 500 basis points around the MPR, 3 retain the CRR at 22.5%, and 4 retain liquidity ratio at 30%.
President Muhammadu Buhari has promised sustained funding of the nation's armed forces in order to maintain efficiency and professionalism. The president was the special guest at an international air power seminar organized by the Nigerian Air Force. Participants were drawn from 18 countries, including the United States, the United Kingdom, Saudi Arabia, and South Africa.
We will continue to support the drive to modernize the armed forces through enhanced budgetary allocation in their quest to meet the constitutional demands of protecting Nigeria's sovereignty and territorial integrity. I therefore charge the armed forces, particularly our Air Force, to maintain their efficiency, and professionalism in carrying out their constitutional duties.